Hello, Steve Arts 89. I've been reminiscing a bit lately, doing some videos, and I actually have a reunion coming up. Now, I'm not going to it, but I had heard about it late last year, that they were going to be doing a reunion for the next year, of course. And I just heard yesterday that it was next Saturday. I asked anyone if they're going. I know one person who's going, and I have a friend who's going, and then I know other friends who, like me, don't live in Tasmania anymore, so they're not going. And also they didn't have much notice, considering I just told them, and they didn't get any official notice, so they didn't have any time. They've got holidays booked in other parts of the world anyway. But I was sort of thinking of high school and college, and just looking back at that, and also realising that I had a different experience than most people. And I know there are different school systems around and in different countries and that, but Tasmania was a little different from the rest of Australia. For starters, we had different terms. In primary school, we had different terms. I think we would have 3 terms, whereas on the mainland they had 4. So you had shorter terms, shorter holidays, but more frequent holidays. That was the first adjustment, because we had relatives who lived in Melbourne and they couldn't visit us on the holidays because we didn't have holidays at the same time. And when you're in one state and your whole school system is different from another state, it's quite disruptive, especially if you want to leave and then go to another state, and then you have to adjust to a whole different system. And that also affected grades. Some of the grades from my TCE weren't recognised in Victoria, so I had to work around that and spend a whole extra year doing an art degree I didn't want to do, or start an art degree I didn't want to do, to get into the university system, because my actual marks, which were great, I was an honours student, couldn't actually get me into the system because they weren't recognised properly. But with primary school, of course, went up to year 6. And year 7, how our town worked, the town was split in half, and it just happened to be the poor half and the rich half, sort of. Well, you had the the holiday houses out the beach on one side of the town, and then you had Pipe Clay Bay, which was the sort of nicer area with the nicer houses. In the middle of the town was the government houses that were originally built for the people who came to work at the factory back in the day, and they were all sort of bought by people and renovated and more like normal houses. But that's how the town sort of started. And the schools, there were 2 schools. There was the Catholic school, or the private school, and the public school. We went to the public school. We started off going to the Catholic school, but my mother hated the Catholic school and had a fairly huge fight with how they were treating her children, and she decided to leave and take them to public school. So I went to public school the whole time. So my other siblings started off at Catholic school, were abused, and then went to public school. And, I had public school the whole time. But we had year 6 and year 6 on both sides. And then you either went to the public high school or you went to the Catholic one. And the Catholic one was more expensive, it was more like a private school. Not everyone went. Or am I imagining that they didn't even have that? I just know everyone, there was like this whole other side of the town I never knew, and all the students from there came to high school, and we had all the students from the town mixing for high school. And primarily that was the main school of the town. And it's now been renamed. It was originally Georgetown High School, how original. And that only went up to year 10 though. So we went there for year 7, 8, 9 and 10, and then that was like when we graduated. We had our leavers and everything, and then we went off and did year 11 and 12 in college. So some people stopped at high school and only went as far as year 10. They didn't go all the way to year 12, but they still finished high school. College, you had to do a separate 2 years. I went to, there was a couple of different colleges, one in the city, which was the better one, because it was in the city. Everyone thought it was better because you just walk out the front door and you're in the city and you could just go to the mall. Whereas the other one was, I think it might have originally been a TAFE, or it was turned into a TAFE later, and it was sort of on a hill. It felt like a college, it felt like a university, it felt like you were going somewhere. And it was only a 15-minute bus ride into the city anyway, so I went there. Then I went to university. I did 1 year because I needed to do that to get into the degree I wanted. Did a second degree, had a double major, and then years later I went back and did a 2-year degree in graphic design and then one more. I did fine art, and another design one. Not whole degrees, just certificates and 1 year courses and stuff like that. It's a mess. I can't remember now. I've got so many. But I just want to talk about my primary school and high school experience, because I thought it was weird, the different terms, and the fact that we only went as far as year 10, and some people could finish year 10 and still consider they finished high school, and we had to go to year 12 to finish off, and that was a whole other thing, and not everyone did it. And I just wanted to share that to see if anyone else had a similar experience in their town or with their school. I'm not sure, how much difference there actually was. It seemed like the system was fairly uniform, except for us. I could be wrong. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.